Hello, welcome back to the Movie Soap channel. Today I would like to tell you why I think the Orville is modern sci-fi TV done right. If you are into watching TV series and movies as much as I am, no doubt you have watched or heard of such series as Star Trek, Stargate, Battlestar Galactica, Firefly, Stargate Universe, and such movies as 2001 Space Odyssey, Event Horizon, Starship Troopers, Alien, and many, many more. Beyond being roughly of the same genre, the series and movies I just listed have something else in common. They were made quite a while ago. Just like with many other great franchises or individual installments, most of the sci-fi gems are undergoing a ruthless modernization and recreation. In 9 times out of 10, this modernization comes in the shape of a remake or a direct continuation of an existing story, and it butchers beloved characters in favor of an appeal to modern political and social views. And the problem is not with the intent to extend a well-known universe into the modern world to give the next generation something they can relate to as well. The problem is how this goal is achieved. The means, in my opinion, do not justify the ends. If you were to take a well-known franchise like Star Trek and bring it up to the early 21st century standard, tell me, which path would you choose out of these two? 1. Get a small army of specialized writers and original content geeks to conjure a logical continuation and ensure that it keeps the original untouched while developing upon it by criticizing, praising, extending on what was laid before, and expanding the universe in such a way as to allow for the continued development and alteration of the setting, and by extension stay relevant with the political and ideological narrative and thus profitable. 2. Grab a small army of writers without any prior experience in the genre, take previously created characters, ideas, and stories, recast them and reenact them, in some cases even keeping the old cast and purposefully humiliating them. Option 1 requires patience, hard work, and dedication. It also renders no immediate return on the investment, at least when compared to Option 2, which allows you to start pumping out the trash within a matter of a couple of years and in great quantities. To my disappointment, and I'm sure to no one's surprise, Option 2 prevails. Just look at all the remakes the Netflix makes, and I don't even want to talk about what Disney did to the Star Wars. In recent years, there were 2 attempts that come to mind that indicate some promise in the sci-fi TV series space. First one is not really a remake, but a rather bold new beginning, and that is The Expanse. It was praised about a year ago by many YouTube reviewers, which led me to checking it out as well. The series is geared towards realism quite a bit, which is cool. The settings seem dark and gritty, however, what I found lacking is charisma from the leading characters and relatability. To me, it felt like Space Wars for the sake of Space Wars. I'm sure some will find the darker, more serious tones of the show enjoyable, but to me the values and ideas behind the original Star Wars and Star Trek were as important and fascinating as the material setting itself. So my interest in The Expanse ran out on the first 2 seasons, and I stopped watching as soon as the novelty of the setting wore off. And recently I discovered the Orville. I just noticed it suggested on my Disney Plus about a week ago and decided to give the first episode a try. The Orville accompanied me for the next week or so. Whether I was cooking a meal, chilling on the patio, or practicing music, the Orville was with me. I stayed away from any reviews and online opinions until I was done catching up to the latest Season 3 available episode at the time. But as soon as I was up to speed and started working on a script for this video, I checked Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, and Wikipedia. I was not surprised to see that the critic reviews for Season 1 on Rotten Tomatoes for this show were so low, while the audience seemed to adore it. with things balancing out quickly starting with season 2 onwards. If you watched those seasons, you surely noticed there was no major change in the setting, the protagonists, and the overall storytelling between them. To me, it seems that by the time season 2 arrived, some professionals decided to align their opinions with the general audience. The series, just like its showrunner, is smart, critical, fun, action-packed, dramatic, naive, and modern, but all in good measures. It's the kind of show that you want to enjoy at the end of a long week, because you know it will be a good hour or so of storytelling. The show also pumps the message, and does so quite often. However, it manages to create a logical setting that allows for it to not be out of place or forced. This builds largely on the Star Trek universe, and in my humble opinion does a much better job doing so than some of the other recent work under that name. The show takes itself quite easy with the physics associated with a space sci-fi setting, and at first might seem a little cartoonish, but very soon you realize that when really necessary, it is very real, but otherwise it has a fine balance of realism, idealism, drama, and fun. The story and the characters are at the fore, and rightly so. MacFarlane is charismatic and does a great job as the lead, but the show develops others who are equally as charismatic and do take the lead occasionally. The plot is thick with well-developed and unexpected twists. The drama hits hard, as it is easy to develop a connection with the protagonists, and well-placed jokes keep the overall light atmosphere. The Orville has so far set up quite a vast and complicated universe for itself, and as much freedom as it has to further develop and grow, the risk of falling short and getting tangled with political and social agendas is equally as high. There is a very fine balance the show manages to maintain, and it makes an absolute joy to watch and rewatch. I hope it will run its long and prosperous course, staying true to its nature, and I look forward to seeing how Captain Mercer and First Officer Grayson, along with their first-class crew, will tackle their next challenge. Let me know down in the comments what you think of the Orville, and support this video with a like, but for now I hope you have a lovely rest of your day and goodbye.